If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is March the 4th, 2023, and today the topic is Panda, Panda, Panda. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Yesterday was pretty good overall. Listen, I started off with the day. Those of you all that follow me on social media, you may have already saw me post about it. But long story short, I had an amazing conversation with this gentleman who has, chosen me to be his dating coach. Now, I don't know if it's going to be just one session or what, but I just want to give a shout out to this gentleman because my thing is, well, one, he doesn't know me personally, so it's someone that found me, I guess, online, if you would say, or through Fiverr is where I have, that I will give Christian dating advice or things of that nature, right? And so he reached out to me there, and we had our first conversation yesterday, and, I would just say after that conversation, I just felt very fulfilled. I felt like, wow, this is amazing that God is using, the different things in my life to encourage and inspire the next person. So God be the glory for, feeling like I'm walking in my purpose and things of that nature. Shout out to the gentleman. I hope that we get to continue to work together because I'm excited to see like what the Lord does with his life and everything like that. And I think it's amazing to see a man, especially his age, be so adamant and want marriage and things of that nature. So to God be the glory. It happens out here, y'all. It's real. There's men that want to be married and all kinds of things. So hopefully that encourages and inspires you single ladies out there. Y'all know I have a heart for y'all. And so, I went through my journey as well. So yeah, to God be the glory for that. So that was an amazing conversation that started off my day yesterday after I did the juice, of course. And then midday, I ended up having a chat, an episode of GSL. And, I'll be honest, like, before we logged in, I was tired. I was like, ugh, I wonder if this guest is going to cancel. Is this really going to happen today? But lo and behold, my guest showed up and whatnot, and we went through with the interview. And y'all, I mean, just like any other interview, amazing people that God has sent my way to chat with and share with you guys on this platform of GSL. So I'm excited about that conversation that's going to come out in the future, but it was an amazing conversation. Very inspiring lady. And yeah. So we're going to see what the Lord do with all of that. She's in Barbados. So I'm like, man, I want to come visit. Preferably one of these old days. I'm going to get my passport and do some international travel. I had to come visit y'all, GSL people from around the world. But anywho, so those were the two main things that happened yesterday. Other than that, it was kind of chill. I did give myself, finally, gave myself the unwind experience. I guess I could talk more about that later or whatever. But this is my sister's birthday manicure. It's my manicure, but it's my sister's birthday weekend. So yeah, my toes look different. So it's a whole thing. But anyway, yes, I finally took some time for some self-care and to unwind and whatnot. So I'm not looking as crazy as I've been looking all week when I've been telling y'all I need to do my nails and all of that. So yeah, that's what Friday looked like for me. Saturday. Okay, so we getting started on this Saturday. First of all, I know this may sound strange. Panda. So let me tell you guys the inspiration. So last night, I think while I was doing my nails, I noticed that NJ was listening to Gracie's Corner, and I think they have the song about the little monkeys jumping on the bed. Well, they had a version that says little pandas jumping on the bed. So that's the first time I heard pandas last night while he was singing and he was listening to that song. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. The kids singing. You know what I'm saying? Love to hear him sing and play and just be imaginative, right? So that was great or whatever. But then I came across something this morning. It was something, it had been on Facebook. I didn't write it down, so I don't even really fully remember what it was. But something that had Panda on it this morning. And that made me think about, what I had just told y'all about that happened last night. And I just happened. I just happened to go ahead to open Bible.info and put in the word panda. And was led to these verses that pretty much I guess one solidified this conversation, as well as reminded me of some more things that I was seeing. I want to say either last night or this morning or whatever the case is. So here we go, panda, panda, panda. Now listen, I understand that this is a song, right? The name Panda is also a secular rap song. By this artist named Designer, which I found that to be very interesting. Because again, when I came across the verses, right, and it seemed like God talking directly, I guess to me, but then I guess to people, right, about how he feels. I'm going to read some of those verses or whatnot later. But when I was coming across those verses like that, it was very interesting that I feel like God was like, now go look up that song Panda. And I was like, okay, Lord, and I was like, yeah, I know it's a song called Panda. And I didn't know the artist and nothing like that. So I go and look it up. And to find out that the artist is named Designer, I was like, interesting. And then the other interesting thing is it's Designer with 2 eyes. And I was like, that's interesting. So that ultimately reminded me of I am that I am. And so I found the verse. It's Exodus 3:14. It says, God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. So I was like, interesting. So 2 eyes as for I am who I am. Now, I'm used to people saying I am that I am, but I don't know. I am who I am. Either way, the Lord is who he is, right? 2 eyes, just like in Designer. I'm just saying, I don't know. That's what the Lord reminded me of this morning. So, and I'm looking up some other stuff, right? I started looking up I did look up the definition of panda. I looked up like some of the meanings. I was seeing things like, pandas are cheerful, all these different type of things. And I thought another interesting thing that I came across as I was looking into pandas was that apparently, this maybe, I don't know if it's nasty or whatever, but apparently through their extra excrement is planting more seeds or whatever the case is. But I found that to be interesting because I was like, God would use the foolish things to confound the wise, and at the end of the day, even the excrement can be used for seeds or whatever. I'm just like, that's kind of crazy or blowing my mind a little bit. But then I started to see the negative stuff. It was stuff talking about, apparently there's some god of pandas. I don't know about all that. I'm just telling you what came across. So apparently that's something I came across. I want to say I started to see like some negative things spiritually about pandas as well. And I just like, And I started to question. I was like, Lord, I don't know. Did you tell me to look up pandas this morning or not? Then I came across this blog post that was written in 2019. So shout out to this individual. I didn't even write their name down, but shout out to whoever is running the idlebabbler.com. They wrote a blog in 2019 called The Panda and God's Provision. And that solidified this conversation of pandas to me. It confirmed it and whatnot. Because like I said, I almost gave up on it. I almost was like, I don't know. right when I was getting ready to doubt, the Lord sent me to that. And the way I went to it or came to it is because I Googled, I was like Bible Panda, and came across this article or blog or whatnot. And it was very interesting because it started talking about how another thing that I had saw repeated that, pandas only eat bamboo. Like they pretty much solely live on bamboo in X, Y, and Z. And it was in the article, you guys can read it for yourself or whatever, but some of the things that I saw, whatever, is that it was talking about how obviously the Lord provides bamboo year round for the panda because that's the only thing it eats, and just different things like that. So I mean, you guys can go deeper in regards to the panda and God's provision by checking out that article that is in the Go Deeper section. But let me share some Bible with y'all. Let me share some more Bible with y'all. So this is one of the verses that I came across when I first looked up panda. And it's Colossians 2, 1 through 4. Now, honestly, if you see the Go Deeper section, the entirety of Colossians 2 is in there for you guys to read on your own. But I'm just going to read 1 through 4. This is what it said. It says, I want you to know how great a struggle I have for you, and for those at Laodicea, and for all who have not seen me face to face, that their hearts may be encouraged, being knit together in love, to reach all the riches of full assurance of understanding and the knowledge of God's mystery, which is Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. I say this in order that no one may delude you with plausible arguments. For though I am absent in body, yet I am with you in spirit, rejoicing to see your good order and the firmness of your faith in Christ. So I was like, wow. And that was the first thing. Like, I mean, I went deeper. There's more verses and whatnot. But it just was a lot to write down. So, 1 Corinthians 15 is one of the things that you can read in its entirety, as well as Isaiah 11, that goes deeper into what I feel like is a conversation to us, those that have not seen Christ with our own eyes, right, and things of that nature. And I just was like, wow, that's amazing. I guess to get this, what I would feel to be like a love letter from the Lord today, reminding me of his provisions, reminding me of that, he's thinking of me, X, Y, and Z. And yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. I know this may sound crazy to people, the way some of these things come to me or whatever. But I try to share and I try to encourage and inspire, because at the end of the day, we be wondering, like, where is the Lord, right? We be wondering, Lord, I don't see you in this crazy world. There's all types of ideas out there that people, want you to gravitate to rather than the Bible. There's all these different things. And then we're like, well, we're asking the questions like, Lord, where are you in the midst of these things? And so I think more than anything this morning, I'm encouraging everyone to pay attention to the small, still voice, right? Pay attention to the things that are, I guess, being repeated to you, whatever the case is. You never know, like, how God could be speaking to you if you really just start to pay attention. So, I mean, I'm gonna be, chit-chatting with the ladies that I'm doing the juice with later on this morning. So at 10, I'm supposed to get with them on Zoom or whatever, and I want to see what the Lord is showing them or whatever. And obviously we can collaborate and talk and stuff like that, but regardless, man, this is what ultimately came to me this morning, and it was kind of just confirmed in a variety of ways. One of the ways is that earlier, before all of this, I think when I first got up this morning, because I woke up to the sound of my alarm, and when I first got up, I just was on social media, just, trying to continue to wake myself up by catching up on things that I had missed, that X, Y, and Z. And I came across this poem, and I'll read it to you. Apparently it's by Donnie McClurkin. I shared it on our Facebook and whatnot. But, I guess, again, I just was reminded of it after I had done all the studies and whatnot. So I was like, let me just write it down so I can share. So this is what the poem says. It says, will you let go? I will trust you, Lord. Will you stand on my word? I will trust you, Lord. Against all odds, will you believe what I have said? I will trust you, Lord. What seems impossible, I will trust you, Lord. Will you believe every promise that invade? Excuse me. Okay, so apparently I don't know what I don't know what I wrote. Sorry. Will you be every yeah. Okay. Well, I did so well until now. But anyway, it continued this conversation of I will trust you, Lord. And something I don't remember what the first part is saying, but basically it's asking, will you receive? And everything like that. What I'll do is those that are watching live, I'll try to pull it up after I finish recording and read it there if the Lord sees fit for me to do it the after show. But I just thought that was very interesting, to read that poem this morning, and I shared it again on our Facebook and stuff, and then to then ultimately, come back in this circle of looking up Panda, and then just be reminded of God's provisions, being reminded to trust the Lord and everything like that, with what He's speaking to me and all these different things, and yeah, so ultimately, I guess this, make this poem our prayer today. As the Lord asks you these questions, I hope that your answers are what, Donica McClurkin's answers were, which is, I will trust you, Lord. And that's ultimately the juice this morning, y'all. That is ultimately the juice this morning. Let me see. I got somebody live with me. Oh, my sister said, it's his song, I'll Trust You, Lord. Oh, okay. Okay. So, see, I didn't know that. I thought it was a poem because it was only like a piece of it. But yeah, okay. So my sister says that it is the poem. Excuse me, it is a song of his. I will trust you, Lord. Now the interesting thing is, I was just about to get ready to shout out this lady because y'all know that she was on our show last night, the GSL Talk Show. So thank you to those that tuned in and watched it when it went live. But if you missed it, don't worry. You guys can go to GodSectionLove.com and take a look and learn all about this lovely lady that we getting ready to celebrate tonight, if the Lord's will. So excited to celebrate tonight and everything like that. But yeah, y'all, that's ultimately the juice today. I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. And I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.